Good morning, students. So in our last class, up to question number 4 we have done. So now today here we start from the question number 5, and as you see the question number 5 is given here. Find the absolute maximum value and the absolute minimum value of the following functions in the given intervals. So as you see here, 4 questions are given. Question number 1, fx equal to x cube, and here x is lies between -2 and 2. So in this way here 4 questions are given. So today we have to discuss here first 2 questions, and the other 2 questions, question number 3 and question number 4 is your homework. Is it clear? So now today we have to start the first one, and as you see the first one is here. How can we solve? Let's see here. Now in this case the first question is given here, fx equals to x cube, where x is lies between -2 and 2. So first of all here we have to write the given function. The given function here we write fx equal to x cube. Now all of you know what you have to do. First we have to differentiate this one with respect to x. So when we differentiate this one with respect to x, so ddx of fx, that means we write f dash of x, and ddx of x we have used what, 3x square, using the formula x to the power n. Isn't it? ddx of x to the power n means what? N into x to the power n minus 1. All of you know this. So using this formula we write here the result, this one. And after that the next step is what? We have to write f dash of x equals to 0. So here that's why we write f dash of x equals to 0, and in place of this f dash of x we write this 3x square, and when we put 3x square, then this one we write 3x square equals to 0. And if we evaluate this one and if we calculate this, then from here we get x equals to 0, and this x value is known as critical point or stationary point. Is it clear? All of you know this one. So now here we have to find out the absolute maxima and absolute minima. As you see, whatever the critical point we get, this critical point always lies in between the interval if we find out the absolute maxima and absolute minima. So here 0 is lies between -2 and 2. Is it clear? So now after that what you have to write? Then we evaluate the value of f at critical point, and the critical point is what? X equal to 0, as well as at the end points of the interval. That means here whatever the interval mentioned, at this interval also we have to evaluate, as well as we have to evaluate the critical point. And this critical point and the interval means x equal to -2 as well as x equal to 2. These two values as well as x equal to 0, these 3 values are we have to put in the given function, and the given function is what? fx equal to x cube. Here we have to put, and after that we have to identify which one is maximum as well as which one is minimum. Is it clear? Okay. So here you see, when we put the critical point here x equal to 0, then the function is fx equal to x cube, and in place of x if we put 0, then we get x equal to f of 0 equal to 0. And when we put x equal to -2, then we get -2 whole cube, and then if we evaluate this one we get minus of 8. As well as when we put x equal to 2, then we get 2 cube, and then we get here 8. Is it clear? So now here we get 3 values, 0, -8, 8. So finally our conclusion, what you have to write? From these 3 values we have to identify which one is maximum or which one is minimum. So that's why what you have to do, maximum value of f. So that means we write here maximum of these 3 value we have to write 0, -8, 8, and then here you see we write this one. And now out of these 3, which one is the maximum? The maximum is 8. So that's why here we write 8. At which point? The point is 2. So that's why we write here x equal to 2. Is it clear? Okay. Now the next one is minimum value of f. The minimum value of f we have to write minimum of again these 3 values, 0, -8, 8. And out of these 3, Which one is the minimum? Minus 8 is the minimum here. So that's why here we write minus of 8. At which point? The point is minus 2. So that's why we write here x equal to minus 2. So the first solution is here we complete, and the maximum value we get 8 at x equal to 2, as well as the minimum value we get minus 8 at x equal to minus 2. Is it clear? Okay. After completing the first one, now if you see the second one, and the second question is given here, fx equal to sin x plus cos x. As you see here, fx equals to sin x plus cos x, and here x lies between 0 and pi. So that means here the critical point, whatever we get, the critical point we get in between 0 and pi. Is it clear? So let's see how can we do this one. So now in this case, given that the function we write first fx equal to sin x plus cos x, and now what you have to do, according to our procedure, we have to differentiate this one with respect to x. So when we differentiate f dash of x, ddx of sin x we write cos x, and ddx of cos x we write minus sin x. So that's why here we write cos x minus sin x. Is it clear? Okay. Now after that, the next step is what we have to write. We have to write f dash of x equals to 0. So that's why here we write f dash of x equals to 0, and in place of f dash of x, now we put this value, and the value is what? Cos x minus sin x. So that's why in place of f dash of x we write cos x minus sin x equals to 0. And now here if we shift this sin x to right hand side, then we write cos x equal to sin x, or ultimately we can write this one is also sin x equals to cos x. Is it clear? Okay, now after that we write here, if you cross multiply this cos x here, then we write sin x by cos x equals to 1, is not it? And then sin x by cos x, that means sin x by cos x means what here? 10x. As you see here written, sin x by cos x is here 10x. So now this one we write 10x equal to 1. Is it clear? So the left hand side is 10x, so that's why when we get the value of 10 is 1, so obviously 10 pi by 4. So that's why here we write 10x equal to 10 pi by 4, because the value of 10 pi by 4 is 1. So now after comparing these two, what we get? X equal to pi by 4. And this x equal to pi by 4 is known as critical point. This one is critical point. Clear? Not points, only one point. So critical point. So now here x equal to pi by 4. So this x equal to pi by 4 here lies in between 0 and pi, isn't it? So now after that, after getting this one, now the interval is given 0 and pi, as well as the critical point we get pi by 4. So that's why here we write, if you see this one, then we evaluate the value of f at x equal to pi by 4, and at the end points are here 0 and pi, is not it? In these 2 points we have to evaluate the result, and finally we get the answer. Understood all of you? The critical point is pi by 4 and the end points are 0 and pi, and these 3 points we have to put on the given function, and the given function is what? Fx equal to sin x plus cos x. In this function we have to put these 3 points, and from there we have to identify which one is maximum or which one is minimum. Is it clear? Okay. If we evaluate now here, first one we write pi by 4, f pi by 4. So the function is sin x plus cos x. So in place of x we write pi by 4. So that's why here we write sin pi by 4 plus cos pi by 4. Is it clear? And we know sin pi by 4 value is 1 by root 2, as well as cos pi by 4 value is 1 by root 2. So if we calculate this one, then we get 2 by root 2. Is it clear? 2 by root 2 we get, and if we rationalize this one, ultimately the answer we get here root 2. So that means when we put in place of x pi by 4, the value we get here root 2. Is it clear? Okay, now the next endpoint is here 0. So if we put 0 here, f of 0, so the function is sin x plus cos x, so that's why here sin 0 plus cos 0. So we know sin 0 0, cos 0 1, so that's why ultimately f of 0 equal to, we get here 1. So next one is the endpoint is pi, so we put in place of x pi. So f of pi equals to, we write sin pi plus cos pi. So we know the sin pi value is 0 and the cos pi value is what? Minus 1. Is not it? So that's why here we write this one is minus 1. So now if you see here, three values are we get again. When we put pi by 4, we get root 2. When we put 0, then we get 1. And when we put pi, then we get minus 1. Is not it? So now from these three, which one is the maximum? Obviously the root 2 is the maximum. And which one is the minimum? So minus 1 is the minimum here. Is not it? That's why here what you have to write, finally we write down the conclusion, and shortly we write the maximum value among these three, the maximum value is root 2 at which point? At x equal to pi by 4. Is not it? And the minimum value is how much? Minus 1 at which point? At pi. At pi. Is it clear? So I hope all of you understood these two questions, and already I told the next two questions, the question number 3 and the question number 4, these two are your homework. Is it clear? Okay.